Hello guys, welcome to What the Tech. My name is Don, and today we're going to talk about the future of Microsoft's Windows. 3 things you should know heading to the future, because they're coming here a lot faster than we're expecting. Kicking it off with number 1 is LTE enabled laptops. ASUS was one of the first to unveil their take on LTE connected laptops. Hence the ASUS Nova Go. Get it? Go? As in go anywhere? Get it? It's a 2-in-1 that has Qualcomm's 835 processor built into it, giving it more efficiency, a thinner design, and longer battery life. This is your first LTE connected laptop with no compromises. Asterisks. So what's with the asterisks, huh? When I was researching and touching up on my knowledge about the subject, I went to ASUS's website on the Nova Go. I noticed it said, quote, familiar Windows experience, end quotes. I was like, hold on, no one ever says that, and usually manufacturers just say ship with Windows or comes pre-installed with Windows 10. So I scrolled all the way down and they finally tell you right at the bottom that this, when it eventually does ship, it will come with Windows 10s. So Windows 10s is something I'll go more in depth with in a future video, but the TLDR of it is that it's Microsoft's optimized version of Windows 10. It loses some of the abilities that Windows 10 ships with, like the ability to use third-party applications and .exe programs, unless you can find them in the Windows stores. Oh, and you can only use Microsoft's Edge browser with it. I know some of you have a love-hate relationship with it. Windows 10s is really a half step towards a tighter software and hardware optimization, like what we see in Apple's MacBooks and macOS. And with that optimization, you can achieve those crazy battery life estimates of around 20 to 22 hours when coupled with the Snapdragon 835, and it could get even better, especially with the future processors down the road like the 845 near the end of next year. But this is where it gets funny. When I scrolled all the way back up to get a couple pictures for this video, I noticed that ASUS goes out of its way to place on the very top corner and they recommend using Windows 10 Pro, the more free version of Windows that allows you the flexibility in having whatever application you can have and untethering yourself from the Windows Store and just being able to use Windows for what people really bragged about, owning a PC over a Mac or an Android over an iPhone. So of course, when you switch over to Windows 10 Pro instead of using the 10s that all these benchmarks were ran with, you're obviously going to lose that tighter software and hardware integration, meaning you're probably going to lose on that battery life that you were hoping to get. Alright, secondly, the next thing you should know about is Windows Project Polaris. Now, that's a cool sounding name and all. What is it? So Project Polaris is an initiative by Microsoft in order to bring even tighter and hardware optimization. Polaris would be a more modern version of Windows that's going to be easily scalable between 2-in-1s to tablets, all the way down to your basic laptops that most people really just think of Windows for anyways. Another key thing to remember that Windows Polaris will be running strictly off of the universal Windows platform. Now that is an even more blocked off, walled off garden of Windows itself. It's probably most comparable to how Apple handles Mac OS. If Windows 10s was the half step, then Windows Polaris would be the full step in. Microsoft will control almost everything there, from how you use it, and they won't even let you exit to go to Windows Pro. So it isn't all bad, it's not all doom and gloom. There's going to be some benefits from Microsoft having harder control over its software and hardware. With Windows 10 Polaris, or whatever comes from it, Microsoft's going to be able to give faster software fixes. It's going to be able to better respond to that key group of people who end up just wanting a very clean Windows experience. And the market that Microsoft is going for, it's not going to be the power users, it's not going to be the content creators. The people that Microsoft are going for here are the ones who are going to buy an iPad, a MacBook Air, a cheap $300 laptop. Also, it's worth mentioning that Microsoft could be doing this to better tighten its position in the market and try to regain that education space that Google has been gaining with the Google Chromebook. Imagine a cheap, easily administered group of Windows laptops that schools can use and employ. That's something Microsoft is probably trying to regain back ever since Google stole the crown. Last, and probably the coolest that we'll talk about, and that we'll continue talking about in the future, is the overall push for a unified Windows experience. Microsoft's foray into Continuum. The last phones I could think of that really pushed the idea of a PC in your phone was Microsoft's Lumia 950 and Samsung Galaxy's S8. Granted, both of them needed some kind of dock to activate their PC mode. It was, and still is, a pretty cool idea. Imagine a future where you come home, you dock your phone on your USB-C dock, or even better, you set it down on your wireless charging mat, and your display lights up. Your previous messages show up on your display, your web browser is ready to go, and your calendars, alerts, and alarms are ready for adjustment or just to check out. Now this really is a great idea for the mass market. Those who are okay with just web surfing, low intensive apps, light to moderate word processing, and a lot of digital streaming. And if that's all you need, the future looks bright. When Microsoft or whoever masters it then, Apple will do it next, and then people will fall head over heels about this new innovative technology from 2017. Also, another thing I realized that I didn't think about before I wrote the script and started planning for this video was that if Microsoft could pull off this Continuum thing, the idea that you really just need your phone, especially with some phones reaching $1,000 in pricing, Microsoft really just made its own ecosystem, something that could be as strong as Apple's ecosystem. Right now, Windows or Microsoft is playing catch up. They're letting everyone in and they're trying to push Windows productivity apps anywhere they can, especially to fight Google in the software space. Of course, this really isn't going to be easy for them because they're really on a tightrope right now. If Microsoft pushes all these ideas out there and they start working, they're going to start antagonizing their partners at Asus or HP, Dell, Lenovo, because they're going to see them as competitors now, not just the free software they can use. And if it doesn't work out and the manufacturing partners that Microsoft created leaves the ship burning as it sinks, then it will just fall to the wayside. But hey, at least they tried. Thanks for watching What the Tech. My name's Don. If you liked what you saw or learned something new, go ahead and show us the love downstairs by liking the video. Oh, and don't forget to share in the comment section what you thought about the whole thing. I really do want to hear what you guys think about LTE connected laptops, because when I shared it with my friends, they really were keen to the idea. But then someone mentioned, won't that just kill your data cap? Because they have eSIMs and you can swap between plans and whatnot, but to display it on your laptop, that's gonna take up a lot of space and you're probably gonna run through it pretty quickly. And would you buy a Windows version of a laptop that was as locked down as Mac? Because I personally think that the whole great thing about Windows experience is that you're free to do really whatever you want. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Sorry about the glares in my glasses earlier. I noticed it in post-production. I'm gonna make sure that isn't an issue in the future videos. To catch me in those future videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.